Our mission is to create lasting and impactful change, and I'm confident that together we can achieve this.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TV1 News. I'm Maricela Kelaton. In this edition, Mota welcomes Level 5 Hospital. Men of Honor Awards recognize and advocates of change, and oil palm industry players propose regulatory framework. The Mota Urban Health Center, a Level 3 hospital in Hanuabada village, officially opened today after a groundbreaking ceremony 4 years ago. The health center is ready to serve around 40,000 residents from Mota villages and the nearby city residents.
Health facility at the doorstep of many Koita villages, the Mota Urban Health Center in Hanuabada opened its doors today to offer health services to many Papua New Guineans, especially women and children. The groundbreaking took place in 2021, and now the vision is clear through the partnership PNG, Oz Partnership, the National Department of Health, NCD Provincial Health Authority, NCD Commission, the United Church, and the Mota Assembly.
The clinic will enable supervised delivery of babies for local communities, and we are anticipating at least 1,000 births each year. We can be proud, all of us, that we are giving these children the best start at life possible. And it's very fitting that the health centre's two wings have been named after early healthcare pioneers, Sister Corey Maori and Dr. Ako Toa. And I'm pleased to welcome members of both families here today.
The Australian government were acknowledged in the Mota traditional way. Health Minister Elias Kapavore acknowledged former Health Minister and now Minister for Fisheries Jelta Wong for his input and for the health facility easing the work of Port Moresby General Hospital.
The Mota Health Centre now offers a wide range of essential health services, including maternity, the outpatient care, disease control, oral health, eye health, or eye care, laboratory and X-ray services, antenatal obstetrics and postnatal care, as well as family planning services. Importantly, the centre will soon be able to safely deliver around 1,000 babies every year.
The facility is worth more than 50,000 kina.
At the cost of $18 million. Okay, $18 million. This is by far the biggest infrastructure investment for the traditional landowners in Port Moresby. So that 18 million translates to nearly 50 million kina. Okay, so the site of Mota itself has a significant historical relevance. That the site itself connects Australia to Papua New Guinea, and of course connects Australia to Motu Koita people. So I think it was meant to be. We're meant to build this here, and this is where we're meant to deliver service.
Jasmine Erojak, TV1 News.
The opening of the Meta Health Center signifies an achievement for the people of Motu Koitabu. The PNG government acknowledged the Motu Koitabuans for giving up their land for a vital service, and City Governor and Prime Minister spoke on these sentiments during the opening of the Meta Health Center today.
National Capital District Governor Powes Pakop spoke strongly today about respecting the rightful owners of the nation's capital. He said Motu Koitabuans are peace-loving people who don't cause chaos in the city.
On Monday, I'm going to announce a plan that is about safety in our city. We had enough. I had enough of all this nonsense, violence and crime and so on. We are going to take action, Prime Minister. We are going to support the police big time so that we bring security and safety to our people, especially our people, indigenous Motu Koita. They are friendly people, peaceful people. It's the culture of our people. You go to another tribal setting, you respect the people from that area. If I go to Mount again, I respect their culture. I respect their way of life. I respect their land. Why can't we do the same here in Port Moresby? Everybody coming here, respect the Motu Koita people. They are peaceful people. So when we talk about health and everything, it's about the welfare of our people. And I'm just putting in perspective the welfare of our people, Motu Koita.
He further stated that the opening of the Meta Health Center signifies a great achievement to the people of Motu Koita, which will service people from within and outside of Port Moresby.
We need to do more to reach out and support our people. They paid a high price for the capital city, but they are paying higher prices in terms of economy, in terms of culture, their security, respect for them, and just coming to the support in terms of supporting Motu Koita.
Prime Minister James Marape acknowledged guests who took their time out to celebrate the work done for the people of Motu Koita, like senior doctor Sir Isikevau, Hanwabada Golden Girl Dikatoa, and many others. PM Marape shared that it was about time the PNG government gave back to the landowners.
We owe a lot of gratitude to the people of Hanwabada and Motu Koita, and today I am extremely joyous that we are giving back something that they truly deserve, a better life. I want to say from our front, we will transfer a 5 million kina to Motu Koita Assembly so that we build staff houses. Many people promised your own electorate, they never delivered. James Marape and Pangu Party delivered your own electorate for next year, next coming election. So you will have your own member to decide your own destiny and shape your own destiny also. And your voice is never to be diluted, must not dilute it. In case your voice in the current structure is diluted, we carved out your own constituency, your own electorate next year. For 2027, when we go to the elections, you will have an opportunity to elect a member for Motu Koita.
Jasmine Erojak, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape and several ministers of state had a meeting yesterday with a business delegation from the United States of America led by the U.S. Ambassador to Papua New Guinea and Mariati Shock. The delegation comprised 16 members from the U.S. government and private sector and are here to explore and discuss business opportunities between the United States and PNG. This is in line with the agenda pushed by Prime Minister Marape to U.S. President Joe Biden's administration over the recent years to have more American presence in the Pacific, including PNG, and to elevate Pacific nations' relationship with the U.S. from reliance on aid and grants to proper engagement in trade and commerce. Marape then continued his advocacy on PNG as an ideal investment destination, highlighting its robust democracy and free market economy, strategic geographical location between Asia and Pacific regions, and its potential in offering green energy, as a mitigation strategy to address the current climate crisis. The Morobe Liquor Licensing Board has once again come under fire for the increasing social disorder caused by cheap alcohol. Community leaders, including the member for Lay, John Rosso, have questioned why the board is indiscriminately issuing licenses to trade alcohol.
Alcohol and spirits have been blamed for the increase in social disorder in Morobe province. Residents raised their concern in a WhatsApp group that had provincial and district leaders in it, including the police hierarchy in Morobe and Lay. Members of the group complained about alcohol-related disturbances every weekend, including fights and noise pollution, pointing to the cheap alcohol that is widely sold in all liquor outlets, including canteens in the settlements and districts. Member for Lay and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso outlined that liquor outlets are operating within residential areas as well, while their trading hours are not restricted. He further pointed out that liquor licenses are being randomly issued, highlighting that the answers lie with Morobe's Liquor Board to implement control measures and work in conjunction with the police to enforce the law. In their fifth board meeting on Wednesday, November 13th, all comments were acknowledged by the Morobe Liquor Board Chairman, Gyasi Lasse, who is commonly known by his stage name, Keiduman. Lasse and his board members resolved to ban the sale and consumption of cheap spirits in Morobe, effective December 1st, 2024. However, he pointed out that the factories that are manufacturing these cheap liquors followed a long process before seeking a license to trade alcohol.
Company will come inside the province here. They established company, they are registered. Or be in processor or come inside the working business. We liquor, we are the last people to give them license. Like when you want to sell beer, you come in, but process plow, you come inside, you can't play beer whether in good plow or no good. You got all land working for work stuff, like customs, health, all by looking most of beer and already Roman consuming or no that. You got all authority stuff, work come now. Meet all last line. We are the last people. You come, so long as you come and be a meeting, you come and whenever no, we best give license, approving license.
However, the chairman admitted that they do not conduct physical inspections when applications are submitted for approval. They mostly act on recommendation from the provincial administration. Lasse further called on political leaders in the province to initiate discussions with the board instead of using the media. Pamela Guare, TVWAN News, Lay.
Digicel Foundation PNG is a strong advocate of the elimination of gender-based violence and sorcery-related violence in communities, and one way is through the Digicel Man of Honor Awards.
On the 19th of November, Digicel PNG Foundation joined the world to observe the International Day of Men by bringing 150 male students from 5 big secondary schools in NCD to watch a documentary, Legacies of Peace, and to engage in a discussion of men's mental health.
And the counselors and the teachers are overwhelmed. So a lot of the problems that we're seeing inside the schools are a response to the breakdown inside families, inside communities, and the schools and our teachers are going through a lot to try to figure out creatively how to help these young boys transition, because they are the future husbands, they're the leaders inside the community, they play a very important role. So programs like this and forums like this try to empower our schools and our young boys to remember their calling and their purpose.
Students and teachers were touched and encouraged by the documentary film. This was expressed through a panel discussion with 3 of Digicel's Men of Honor, including Michael Yapi, who was featured in the documentary film. The lesson learned was that Yapi's formal education
ended at grade 6, but he did not give up on life. He started to make his own money by selling clothes on the streets of Mount Hagen. At the same time, he was assisting his mother to sell coffee while being obedient to her with household chores. Through determination and perseverance, he is now a successful entrepreneur and a philanthropist. The students who came were carefully selected, and they were described as some of those who come from very difficult backgrounds. The teachers who accompanied them had hope that this experience would change their perspective in life.
So people, boys from the background where they experience and witness violence, they don't seem to be controlling their spirit. So they become violent again in their world. So these programs like that helps them in many, many ways. So, yeah. So we stand ready to help them. Firstly, I believe that to change a boy, firstly, you have to be the change yourself.
Especially the film for them to learn from someone who has left school at grade 6 level will inspire them, because these are students they have come to grade 11. Next year they'll be in grade 12. They'll be finishing off their upper secondary schooling, and they have been inspired, and they are going to know that they can do better and do more for the community and especially for their families.
Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
After months of meticulous planning and coordination, the first cohort of 19 participants have completed the SPELL Framework Understanding and Responding to Autism under license training in Port Moresby. The training, spanning 3 Saturdays, was facilitated by SPELL Master Trainer, Pediatrician and Autism Consultant Dr. Zahila. It has reshaped participants' understanding of autism.
Batch of participants in Papua New Guinea has completed the SPELL Framework Understanding and Responding to Autism User License Training, culminating in a certificate ceremony attended by guests including Brother Graham Leach, founder of Callan Services and a pioneer of inclusive education in PNG, and Brother Phil Grundy, also of Callan Services. The training, held over 3 Saturdays, introduced a transformative approach to understanding autism from the perspective of autistic individuals, equipping participants with essential skills to support and enhance the quality of life for autistic people. Participants, including leading psychiatrist Dr. Kura David Ravu and Dr. Julius Nason, child and adolescent mental health specialist Dr. Monica Hagali, pediatrician Dr. Benjamin Dower, psychiatric nurses, teachers from Callan Inclusive Education Resource Center and Virtues Private School, Principal Mary Udu of Birdwing Independent School, and parents. PNG autism advocate Rosemary Lucky, who organized the event, had this to say.
It's a great way to start our campaign for improved services and greater awareness around autism, because it involves all three stakeholders, the medical professionals, teachers, and us, the parents, who will be advocating and driving this movement forward.
Funded by the Department of Prime Minister and the National Executive Council, with training space provided by Port Moresby General Hospital, the program represents grassroots parent-driven movements to address the lack of government services for autistic individuals.
I understand that this whole thing, historic moment, has come about through advocacy. And their advocacy of parents of children with this disability of autism. But I'd like, as a citizen of Papua New Guinea, I'd like to thank Dr. Zahila for coming to our country to conduct this historic moment and to guide us through it.
The SPELL framework equips participants with insights into understanding autism from the autistic perspective, emphasizing the creation of supportive environments to enhance the quality of life for autistic individuals. Parents and guardians in Port Moresby are invited to attend a follow-up parent training session this Saturday at UPNG. This session offers an opportunity to connect, share experiences, and learn practical strategies to support autistic children. This marks a step forward to greater awareness and improved autism services in Papua New Guinea. Karakido Jr., TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. After the break, a market survey labor report published and the need for regulatory framework in the oil palm industry. Those stories and more after these short messages.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
All right, man. Show me some good slippers around here.
Boss man.
Good, you want. Strong like you, smart like me.
Yeah, I hope they don't break.
Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
Open hands.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Welcome back. Most Papua New Guineans, regardless of gender, believe women are just as capable as men. Better job opportunities for women would be good for the economy, and boosting the number of female members of parliament would serve the country well. Those are among the headline findings of a major nationally representative labour market survey that has been carried out by the Business Coalition for Women. The results of a major nationally representative labour market survey that has been carried out by the Business Coalition for Women, published today, are based on in-depth interviews performed with approximately 2,000 respondents across Papua New Guinea. The data generated especially on earnings fills important gaps in the evidence base on the PNG labour market. The BCFW survey finds a gap in gender pay gap, with the earnings of women in paid employment lagging their male counterparts by 13.7%.
On top of the low overall earnings, there is also a large gender earnings gap. So we estimate to be 13.7% on average. The mean earnings for men per month is 1,652 kina. The mean earnings for women per month is 1,425 kina. This gender gap largely stems from the gender earnings gap among self-employed, which I talked previously about, which was 41%.
When it comes to supporting job creation overall, However, 41% of Papua New Guineans say they think it is the responsibility of MPs, but only 26% say their MP is discharging that responsibility well, and even fewer in rural areas. Given perceived and actual connections between economic empowerment and political representation, it is noteworthy that 74% of women and 66% of men say the country would benefit from having more female leaders, including MPs. 76% of women and 60% of men say they would be more likely to vote for a female candidate at election time than a man.
We're seeing or the high percentage of respondents to women being in government or supporting women candidates to be in government. I think that is one of the greatest reflections of this particular survey. Second also is the fact that there is increasing confidence in the capabilities of women. That is reflected through in the survey, and also what Yvonne mentioned towards the end is the confidence or that women have in actually taking on non-traditional roles.
Furthermore, the BCFW survey provides detailed insights into labor market conditions in Papua New Guinea. For example, it finds that women, 53%, are less likely than men, 61%, to do a job which brings in monetary pay. About half of all Papua New Guineans, both men and women in equal proportions, have ambitions to start a business or increase their salary.
That highlight that there is an urgent need for action on key issues from job creation to more women representation in politics. And by addressing these challenges, we hope that we can build a more stable and inclusive Papua New Guinea.
The report was prepared by BCFW with support through the PNG Australia Partnership Building Community Engagement in Papua New Guinea program, and with technical support from the World Bank Pacific Observatory. Policy engagement, further analysis and data sharing. These are the next steps BCFW will be pursuing following the publication of the survey results today.
Policy thinkers to help them understand what is needed in terms of job creation. There is more analysis to be done, so these are the headline analysis, and we will be looking to analyse further the data and share that widely as well.
The oil palm industry contributes over 40% of our agricultural export revenue, generating approximately 1.5 billion kina annually and providing employment for thousands of Papua New Guineans. Despite its significant contributions, the industry has operated for decades without a robust regulatory framework to guide its growth, protect its stakeholders, and ensure sustainable practices.
Palm Oil Policy 2024-2029 consultation workshop in Kimbe, Western Britain Province this week marked a turning point. It aimed to address the industry's challenges, such as the absence of a transparent regulatory environment, unclear licensing processes, land disputes, and inconsistent benefit-sharing mechanisms. The policy creates the foundation for a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable oil palm sector. Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke, when addressing the participants, reaffirmed the government's appreciation for the efforts of private sector players, especially long-standing contributors such as New Britain Palm Oil Limited and Agi Oil Palm Limited.
This policy is not intended to disrupt the operations, but to enhance them by ensuring a level playing field and fostering an environment of trust, collaboration, and shared growth. At the same time, the government must address issues that have gone unregulated for too long, ensuring that all stakeholders, particularly smallholders and landowners, are empowered to fully participate and benefit from the industry.
Maneke clarified that a new regulatory framework will be established, including the creation of the Oil Palm Industry Authority, which will have the mandate to oversee the industry. Licensing processes will be standardized and compliance with international standards will be enforced. This ensures clarity, accountability, and fairness in all industry operations.
The policy supports sustainable expansion by facilitating access to land through voluntary customary land registration and promoting downstream processing to increase the value of palm oil palm products in our country. Our vision is to develop over 100,000 hectares annually, thereby creating jobs and increasing revenue for local communities.
Speaking on behalf of Chief Secretary Ivan Pomaleu, Manager of Policy Division Brendan Pulai affirmed the government's commitment to supporting the oil palm industry in the country. The next consultation workshop is for the southern region to be held on Friday in Port Moresby. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Meantime, the General Secretary for Oil Palm Industry Corporation, Captain Pupita, elaborated on the importance of the policy framework and the spin-off benefits on the smallholder growers. Provincial Administrator Leo Mapmani also emphasized the importance of provincial collaboration and involvement in the policy.
The solution is grow the industry. You cannot have oil palm plant that to go and grow alcohol back in the islands. You can't have a oil palm plant take here to go and grow same way you see it. Never. They go back the next minute every year. The only way to do it is grow the policy, introduce the legislation that will make us put us in a position to acquire all the land. Let me give the technology and bring them around.
The National Palm Oil Policy supports sustainable expansion by facilitating access to land through voluntary customary land registration and promoting downstream processing to increase the value of oil palm products. Minister for Oil Palm Francis Maneke made these remarks during the Palm Oil Policy Consultation Workshop in Kimbe this week. He says the government's vision is to develop over 1,000 hectares annually, thereby creating jobs and increasing revenue for communities. Maneke also emphasized that the smallholders remain central to this policy. Participants from smallholder growers and representatives from milling companies attended the workshop. Late Assistant Commissioner of Police for Training, Peter Phillip, was honored and given a final farewell during his funeral service at the Reverend Sioni Kami Memorial Church in Port Moresby yesterday. His body departs Port Moresby today for burial in his home village of Hagama, East Yanguru, East Sepik Province.
Heads of department and management of the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary, led by the Commissioner of Police David Manning, paid final respect to a comrade, colleague and friend, the late Assistant Commissioner of Police for Training Peter Phillip, during his funeral service at the Reverend Sioni Kami Memorial Church in Port Moresby. The late ACP joined the force at the tender age of 19. After passing out from the Bomana Police College, he was posted to Lae Central Police Station and worked there from July 1980 to October 1982. At his passing, he had clocked in 44 years of service to the force and the government and people of Papua New Guinea. He was ACP training until his untimely passing on November 1st, 2024. Top Cop David Manning said the late ACP had unwavering commitment to supporting the people of PNG and worked according to the constabulary's vision and mission.
In his early days, his unwavering commitment to serving the people of Papua New Guinea and advancing the constabulary's mission was evident.
Manning said throughout his career in the force, the late ACP served in various units, including criminal investigation, traffic duties, and special service division. Manning said his performance in every role stood out and enabled him to continue in management positions.
Some would say he was a professional policeman, a policeman's policeman. It is a rare characteristic nowadays to display such traits, to dedicate your whole life to serving your people and proudly wearing the uniform that we all wear today.
The late ACP's legacy will live on. Manning thanked Philip's family for supporting him for more than 4 decades as he served in the force. One of the late ACP's many friends and chairman of the Teaching Service Commission, Samson Wangiomi, gave an emotional tribute on behalf of the grieving family. Wangiomi expressed how proud he was of his late friend, whom he described as determined, loving, caring, and a passionate police officer.
And as a community and as a tribe, Peter, we are very, very proud of you. You are an example to many police officers, and I can attest to that. And I concur with our commissioner, who has said he has set an example. You have set an example.
Late ACP Philip is survived by his 2 children and 6 grandchildren. He had lost his wife years ago in 1985. Today, his body will be brought home to Isipik to be buried. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2522 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2447, $0.3720 Australian dollars, €0.2235 and 37.55 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, crude oil and copper closed higher, coffee closed lower, and cocoa closed higher. Copper closed unchanged and palm oil closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put him more flavor, put him more taste. Magic kakaru, get up and big smile on face. Time for him chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young plan alapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Enjoying life when we're working together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, as calories, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite of mine. Tennessee cola, scale rice, long scales, air price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, long scales, fair price. Amber, you like it?
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited.
Let's go, let's go.
Amber, Pepsi from Max.
Pepsi from Max.
And how do you win this? 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro.
2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win.
This box of Max.
It's crazy cool. My God. A pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Hula ball.
Yeah!
Welcome back. In news around the region, more than 40,000 people have marched on New Zealand's parliament in support of Maori rights. Demonstrators say a divisive bill aimed at reinterpreting the country's founding treaty document would diminish the hard-won rights of First Nations people.
Of a long journey, the passion undiminished, setting off from the far north last week and growing along the way, the march, or hikoi, arrived at Parliament in Wellington, numbering in the tens of thousands. They oppose a bill introduced by a minor party in the coalition government that aims to reduce the influence the Waitangi Treaty has on shaping New Zealand law.
We are taking the treaty to a place where everyone owns the constitutional future of this country, not just a minority of self-appointed experts.
The ACT Party argues the 184-year-old treaty signed between the British and Indigenous Maori discriminates against non-Indigenous citizens. The party's Treaty Principles Bill passed its first reading on Thursday after opposition parties performed the haka in Parliament and ripped up a copy of the legislation. The bill is not expected to become law, but critics say it's part of a wider movement to dilute the rights of Maori.
A lot of the actions coming out of Parliament lately haven't been suffice for Māori, I guess, and part of today is reminding the relationship between Māori and Crown.
I'm here to support, our treaty, to honour the treaty. The government just trying to take over and take everything from us.
A movement with its roots in the past, determined to protect Māori future.
Hollywood star Jason Momoa has urged his millions of followers to support Hikoe Mote Tiriti and stand with Maori against the proposed Treaty Principles Bill. The Aquaman and Game of Thrones actor took to social media sharing footage of Hana Rauhiti Maipi Clark performing Ka Mate Haka and sharing his backing for the movement. The video of the Te Pāti Maori MP had been viewed hundreds of millions of times on social media platforms and was picked up by international media. In his post, Momoa wrote, "They are fighting for their rights, their culture and their coming generations." Thousands of British farmers have brought the streets around the UK's parliament to a standstill, protesting the government's plans for a controversial farm inheritance tax. Former Top Gear presenter turned farmer Jeremy Clarkson was among the crowd of protesters who disputed the government's claims that only the richest farmers would be forced to pay up.
Thousands of farmers from all over the UK and a convoy of tractors have descended on central London to protest against the UK government's inheritance tax on farms.
Having previously been exempt from paying inheritance tax, farms which are worth more than £1 million, the equivalent of about $2 million Australian dollars, will have to pay 20%. Many farmers fear their families will have to leave the land, and they say that'll have an impact on the UK's food production.
2/3 of farms will be bankrupt by this tax. And like Australians, we should be self-sufficient in food. We're quite capable of it. We just need a government to support us.
Appreciate that they say that everyone gets the first £1 million, but a lot of farms, the asset value, the land is above that. And the problem with that is that farmers are a classic group of people that are asset rich, cash poor. They do not have the cash to pay.
The number of farms affected by these tax changes differs depending on who you talk to. The government says only 500 of the wealthiest estates would be affected, but farmers say up to 70,000 farms could be.
I'm a generational farmer, I'm fourth now, and that could be where it stops when we come. We're not a rich cash farm, but we've got plenty in assets, so by the time you add the costs up, we reached our threshold, but we're one of the smallest farms in our area and we're going to be affected by it.
Among the protesters was former Top Gear host Jeremy Clarkson, who's previously said he'd bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax, but is now a vocal advocate for the farmers. This is the first mass protest against the UK's Labor government since it came to power in July after 14 years of Conservative rule. The government says it needs the money to mop up mistakes made by the previous administration.
We have to plug that £22 billion black hole in our public finances, otherwise we can't fix our public services like the broken National Health Service, so it's only right that we've had to ask the wealthiest landowners and the biggest farms to pay their fair share.
It's been a peaceful protest here today. There's even been children here with toy tractors. But the rally organisers say that things will escalate in the future if the government doesn't listen.
It's a devastating disease that can severely affect someone's autonomy and daily life, not to mention the lives of those around them. Now a team in Newcastle is using the power of music to uplift spirits and offer support with a dementia choir group known as the Unforgettables, meeting every week for those with the disease and their carers.
A love of music runs deep in this Newcastle-based choir. But participants aren't just here for the opportunity to sing. They're also here for support and social connection.
I think when you get a diagnosis of dementia, it shatters you. We certainly found ourselves in a state of shock.
Mari's husband Brian was diagnosed with dementia about 18 months ago.
It's a fairly generic one, which is showed up by a bit of a lack of a loss of memory. Names and things. I find sometimes hard to remember people's names and things like that.
They reached out to Dementia Australia, who recommended this group.
For us, watching that and watching their carers has been a very real eye-opener and privilege. And it's the company, it's the songs, it's wonderful for us, isn't it?
Yeah. No, we look forward to it. Yeah.
The choir was started in August last year by Helen English and Michelle Kelly from the University of Newcastle.
This was an opportunity to provide an outlet for them, both for the person living with dementia and their family carer, where they could come along and be part of something that was beyond dementia.
The choir has grown to about 40 participants and meets every Saturday afternoon for 2 hours. Some members, like Gwyn Travis Vance and George Vance, have been coming since it first began.
When we initially came along, George wasn't singing, he was listening mostly. The songs were really different for him, but as we've just stayed with it, he's singing, so he's getting used to the songs. And I think it's for both of us, it's really been helpful.
There's a big demand in other areas of the Hunter for a similar service, and Helen says they are looking to expand in the future.
It's an easy place to be, to come along here on Saturday.
Using the power of music to support and uplift those impacted by dementia.
And that ends the news segment. Coming up next in sport, NCD Governors Cup set for December and Port Moresby Elite Basketball League set for finals. Stay tuned.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 26 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Kumul Petroleum is a major regional petroleum industry player involved in large-scale upstream, midstream and downstream petroleum and energy developments in the country. We are committed to ensuring that Papua New Guineans maximise benefits from the petroleum and energy sector.
George is stay alive on the play and score. Twinkle towards down the touchline. Tapu Sante holds it up for Ben Tameifuna. Here goes the 151.
Thanks for staying with us. Sporting codes in East New Britain province have been urged to revive and re-establish their local associations at their respective districts. Provincial Sports Coordinator Benjamin Hekahu has been tasked to facilitate the process of getting all major sporting codes in the province, have proper executives in place, get them registered with IPA before seeking government support.
Eastern Britain was once a leading sporting province in the country. However, after the 1994 volcanic eruptions, a lot of major sporting codes such as soccer, Australian rules, basketball, softball, and athletics have struggled to regain their dominance, with the population now scattered and the lack of proper alternative sporting facility and venue for the last 30 years. According to an initiative under the Office of the Eastern Britain Governor Michael Marum, all major sporting codes in the province are now mobilizing themselves to get their association back on track. With assistance from the Governor's Sports Coordinator's Office, they are now working closely with Kokopo, Rabaul, Gazelle and Pomio districts to have all their sporting codes properly established with new executives, constitutions, and the opening of association bank accounts so they can register with the Investment Promotion Authority.
We don't have proper associations in the province. So underneath the office of governor, mitla like establishing all district associations, the 4 district in the province. So under the office of the governor, mitla got him 10 code where mitla capture him the office of governor, where we want to revive at the district level. We may got him rugby league, rugby union, rugby tats, volleyball, netball, basketball, soccer, dart, and athletics. So 10 code, and we capture him lo underneath lo sports office lo governor blimi Honorable Michael Marum.
Ekahu said he's been working closely with respective district sports officers and community development officers to have all these requirements in order. He has helped them with a template on areas of registration, how to do reports and acquittals, how to do annual reports for the association, and importantly, how to write sponsorship proposals.
My technical skills that I have in terms of registration and all this, I have helped them very much now. All of them are very happy. They are seeing that something new player. They have seen that's a new thing. Just 2 weeks ago, I am running one league workshop on all the presidents that I have mentioned, the registered associations. I went through with them on how to do reports, acquittals.
So far, 20 codes have been formally registered.
One of the things is to, when we have the associations formally registered and established, and they are playing annually regarding any champions, that's what I've been telling all association presidents, because when we have our codes running annually, they have the competitions, we will have competitive players to go out and represent our province in terms of any sports, any of those 10 codes that I have mentioned.
Kokopo has 10, that's Kokopo City Rugby League, Kokopo City Rugby Union, Kokopo City Touch Association, Kokopo Volleyball, Kokopo Basketball, Kokopo Darts, East New Britain Netball, and East New Britain Athletics. For Rabaul, they have Rugby League, Rugby Union, Volleyball, Touch, and Softball. Gazelle has Softball, Rugby Union, Rugby League, and Volleyball, and Pomio has registered Soccer, Volleyball, and Touch Rugby. Ekau said there must be some standards and systems in place for proper accountability in order to attract support from the government and the business sector. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
The annual Southern Region 9's Rugby League tournament is on again this year, bringing the youth of the region together to participate in the 5-day Nines Rugby League Festival. Interest is building up. However, there are a few teams yet to finalize payment to be eligible for a slot in the final draws.
This will be limited to 44 as only one playing field will be used. As soon as the 44 teams pay up registration fees of 1,100 kina, they will not entertain any more teams. The inaugural Southern Nines was first held in 2003 and every year since, except in 2020 and 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This event provided an opportunity for youth from the region to display their football skill and speed, and a good example was Moria Moria, who was scouted during his top performance at the Southern Nines. At the recent meeting with Moria Moria at Jackson's airport before leaving for Sydney, he said that he played for his village team for about 5 years before being spotted by the Central Lebaris. The other player who made it through the national and international level is Edene Gebi from Koyari. More talents have come from central villages through the Central Nines tournament. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
That's all for sports. Now the weather forecast. Southern, Port Moresby becoming cloudy with possible brief rain showers and thunderstorm. Daru, partly cloudy with few showers and possible inland thunderstorm. Kerema, partly sunny, then rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Alotau, partly cloudy with chances of brief rain showers. Momase, Lay, rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medan, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, partly cloudy with few showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau mostly sunny. Rabaul, Kokopo, partly cloudy with few rain showers. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy with periods of rain showers and thunderstorm. Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, periods of rain showers and thunderstorm. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, widespread rain periods with thunderstorm. Coral Seas, seas moderate to rough with easterly winds of 15 to 20 knots, reaching 25 to 33 knots at times. Solomon Sea, seas light to moderate with easterly to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots with gusts over the southeast sector. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters over warning areas. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Bogle and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters tonight over eastern Milne Bay Islands. Waters of Cape Bogle to Huon Gulf to Fincher Fen and waters of Medan to Wewak to Vanimo,
and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Finjafan through Vitiaz Strait to CSA Long Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, and waters of New Ireland to East New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And waters of West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters.
That brings us to the end of this edition of TV1 News. From us to you, have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.